Game of Thrones Season 7 Episode 5, Live Blog. Is Jaime Lannister dead? Will Arya and Sansa clash? And will Daenerys and her dragons go power mad? Join our 2 a.m. simulcast Live Blog and find out. Hello, 7 blessings and welcome to our Game of Thrones Live Blog. We'll be chucking a few Lannister soldiers on the Barbie, too soon? From 2 a.m. GMT as we follow all the twists, turns and epic dragon attacks, hopefully, live in this week's episode Eastwatch. Throw on your flame-proof armor, and enjoy. 03.05, we're all on the same side, we're all breathing, Jon says, as they head out into the cold. At least Thoros has wine now. 03.04, so let's recap. Tormund hates Jorah because his dad hunted wildlings. Gendry hates the Brotherhood because they sold him to Stannis and Melisandre. And the Hound hates everyone because he's great. 03.03, Tormund just wishes Brienne had come up north with Jon and crew. But he does have some men in the cells who want to help, the Brotherhood. And to think, I still didn't prepare a who let the dogs out pick for the Hound. 03.01, did he genuinely hide it under the bed? What a hack. Looks like that old message Sansa sent begging Big Bro Robb to submit in S1. Oh, and Littlefinger knew she was doing it. That makes more sense. 03.00, Arya picking the lock to see what it is, but what could it be? Something he's forged to drive a wedge between the Stark sisters for reasons? 02.59, Esther Walken brought something to Littlefinger from the old archives. Lady Stark thanks you for your service, Baelish says in his usual indeterminate accent. 02.58, now Littlefinger is doing some classic creepiness, watched over by Arya. Meeting with some of the rebellious lords even. Scheme. 02.57, that would of course make Jon the king. Surprised they're laying that out, even though Sam didn't clock it, thought they'd prefer to keep it. Sam sadly nicking everything not nailed down to flee the Citadel. Because to be fair, it looked quite boring. I'm tired of reading about the achievements of better men, he says. 02.55, now they've set off, and Gilly is playing Westersy Trivial Pursuit with Sam. Gilly talking about an annulment given to someone called Rhaegar. Hello, could this be Rhaegar? Had an annulment, making Lyanna his real wife, eh? 02.54, Gendry is joining the Suicide Squad up to the north with Jorah and Jonathan. Thank God he was cured, eh? He and Dany are now having an emotional farewell. She seems more worried about Jon, Ox. If I don't return, at least you won't have to deal with the king in the north anymore. I've grown used to him. 02.51, Gendry, bastard of Robert, meets bastard of Ned. You're a lot shorter, Gendry says, to my own merriment. 02.49, can only assume this is how Davos and Tyrion will make a fast time back to Dragonstone. 02.48, while we wait, anyone up for a Shrek-tacular remake of last week's Dragon Battle? 02.46, never betray me again, Cersei says. Jaime says, well, through subtext. Though that would be funny. Now, advert break. 02.45, Jaime tells Cersei about his meeting with Tyrion. So far, the Northern Lords are the only ones gullible enough to believe the White Walkers exist on faith. Cersei knew about the meeting, because she's crafty. Whatever stands in our way. We will defeat it. For their new baby. What, she's pregnant again. 02.43, Tyrion has spoiled it though because they recognize him, and then Gendry smashed their heads in. He'll do, Tyrion says. 02.42, Davos has prepared a fake crab aphrodisiac to convince these guards, which is a sentence I never thought I'd be writing. Gendry is nodding a lot. 02.41, Gendry has been getting ready, and has a big war hammer. Just like his dad. But I feel like he should alter the Baratheon motto. 02.40, I wasn't sure I'd find you, thought you might still be rowing. For the fans. Love it. 02.39, blah blah Dany wants to suspend hostilities if Cersei will help them fight White Walkers, but Gendry is here. 02.38, Lannister family reunion. Jaime and Tyrion together again. Also very glad that Bronn survived and didn't become a 02.35, Arya and Sansa are suddenly at odds. Arya being creepy, 3 steps away from telling Sansa how pretty she was in the moonlight. Hey, Davos smuggled Tyrion into King's Landing and acknowledged his son who died. My fanboy heart is loving it. 02.33, love the reference to Jon expecting the North to sit and wait for him like Ghost. True, Ghost has very much been left behind. 02.32, now back to this miserable Northern Lords, who are already trying to replace Jonathan Blimey, the North does not remember. 02.31, Jon wants to go and get the Whites himself, and Daenerys is not happy. Hello. 02.30, Tyrion has a good idea, bring a White down to show everyone the threat is real. Actually a pretty decent plan. Loving Jorah's badass armor too. 02.29, Varys is worried about Daenerys' fire-happy ways, but at least Jon got the good news about Bran and Arya being alive. Plus, you know, that the White Walkers are marching on Westeros. They fitted a lot on that scroll. 02.27, Sam doesn't know about his family's death yet. Very sad. But at least Dickon died with honor and his very small head. 02.26, Sam's inspiring speech does not seem to have worked. They think it's Daenerys playing a trick. They're just gonna send some more emails. 02.24, Esther meeting, they are not believing the warnings of White Walkers, as is realistic. 02.22, gotta say, I'm loving Game of Thrones' biggest new bromance, Drogon. Daenerys is a total third wheel now. 02.19, and now we're in the first advert break. A slower bridge episode this week, but I can dig it harder than Jon Snow in a Dragonlance mine. 02.18, Bran is now warding so many ravens that it seems like overkill. To reuse a joke from last week. Oh, he's checking out the incredibly slow White Walker army, but the Night King saw him. 02.17, Jorah is back. And was hidden dramatically behind some Dothraki. He's looking pretty good in that new armor. And Daenerys even gave him a special friend hug. How nice. 02.16, I guess you could say Daenerys is a little. And now they're arguing the purpose of killing people. 02.15, whoa. He petted him. Drogon is happy. He must sense the Targaryen blood in him after all. And Daenerys is curious about Dr. Snow little now. 02.14, wait, is he gonna pet him? 02.13, oh here's Jon looking good and flouncy as Drogon lands in Dragonstone. This is cool. 02.12, Jaime now telling Cersei that big old dragons and Dothraki hordes outweigh Mycroft's guns for hire, aka mercenaries. Also told her Olenna killed Joffrey. 02.11, well, they're all kneeling now. And Dickon is. Or was that Theon, Varys and the Unsullied? Sorry, that was crude. 02.10, she's sentencing them to death. They're holding hands. And now they've been burnt alive. Poor Dickon. 02.09, hell, even Randall wants him to kneel, but Dickon won't. He's nice. Don't hurt him, Dany. 02.07, Randall refuses to kneel. Wouldn't bet on his chances, especially as he's going a bit Daily Mail about the Dothraki etc. Oh no, Dickon's getting involved. 02.06, Dany seems to be doing a potted version of her many let's be nice speeches to get people to bend the knee. Drogon snarled, worked better. 02.05, Tyrion is not happy about all this carnage. He should see a doctor really. And now Dany is rounding up the remaining Lannisters and lords. 02.04, yup, Jaime's alive. Braun fairly decisively poking holes in Jaime's charge at a dragon plan. And there's that strong language. 02.02, no way. They've added Eastwatch to the opening credits. So cool. Though even less excuse for leaving Casterly Rock out now. 02.01, strong language and violent scenes. We're in business tonight. 01.56, though in fairness, it does feel like world politics had gotten darker and more extreme since Thrones started in 2011. Coincidence? Yes. Yep, it probably is. 01.54, satire. 01.53, less than 10 minutes now lads. 01.48, just realized I've not even spoken about why this week's episode is called Eastwatch. Well, it's the castle up against the wall that's furthermost east. Yep, there's more than just Castle Black, which is where Jon and co think the White Walkers are headed to based on their last known position. So does this title mean we're getting some White Walker action, or just a walk and talk as Tormund refortifies that castle? Who knows? 01.45, only 15 minutes to go, and we're about ready to get cracking with our Lannister barbecue. Whatever Dragon wants, he gets. What, you thought I was joking about the Barbie? 01.42, another great subgenre of jokes, Jon Snow ignoring polite conversation to talk about how he looked into the Night King's eyes, god damn it. And yes, I'm talking up my own jokes there. I have no shame. 01.40, fancy more of such informed got chat? I also make Thrones recap videos for Radio Times on Mondays, so check out what we did for the spoils of war below if you fancy reminding yourself of everything that happened. Warning, may include badass sword skills from me, extremely high quality scene reconstructions and a blow-up dragon costume. 01.36, right now I'm re-watching Brian and Arya's sparring session, and remembering something interesting I learned this week. Maisie Williams is right-handed, but ever since she was first cast in the series she's been training herself to use her left hand for most tasks, as book Arya is always described as left-handed. That goes all the way from using lefty to pick up spoons to learning every stunt routine with her weaker hand, including this one, even when the fight choreographers themselves forgot she shouldn't be holding the sword in her right hand. Now that's dedication. 01.33, I'm also enjoying the insane number of callbacks to earlier series, particularly in dialogue. Last week we had Davos invoking Stanislav of grammar correction, it's not less, it's fewer, and also yet more instances of Daenerys repeating Jon's own advice, taunts back to him. Maybe they are meant for each other after all. 01.29, one thing I've particularly enjoyed this year is the new crop of memes making fun of Daenerys' pathological desire to have Jon bend the knee. This is a newbie. But everything changed when the White Walkers attacked. 01.27, this is all of us RN, or just those of us properly invested in the feudal laws of Westeros. 01.24, of course, Gendry is illegitimate, but hey, in a world where a bastard can become king in the north, who's to say one couldn't claim the Stremlins too? Hello? Am I the only one concerned by who's in charge of the Stormlands at the moment? Filthy casuals. 01.18, oh, I almost forgot one of the most exciting things about tonight's episode, rumor has it could see the return of Gendry. Remember Gendry? The bastard son of Robert Baratheon, found by Ned Stark and later befriended by Arya. Captured by Melisandre, freed by Davos and last seen rowing away from Dragonstone in Season 3? Captain of the SS abandoned plot lines? Well, him. As played by Skin's Joe Dempsey, who has been a real sport about all the Gendry jokes over the years. Anyway, a few weeks back his appearance in this series was confirmed when he turned up at the premiere, and 'twas said this could be the week he shows up. Could be wrong, but I'm keeping my eyes peeled. Especially considering that with Robert, Stannis, Renly and Shireen gone. He's one of the last people with a claim on the lands and might of House Baratheon. 01.12, so this is a thing. And yet they didn't even include Jim Broadbent. Tut tut. 01.05, oh, and after that word vomit we have less than an hour until the next episode. Time flies, like a terrifying dragon of metaphor and bad blogging content. 01.04, what else? Well, the series trailer suggests that we'll also see Tyrion and Lord Varys becoming uneasy over their new queen's slightly pyromaniacal tendencies, perhaps worrying she takes after her dear departed deadly daddy the Mad King more than anyone thought. Out in the real world, people's reaction to the dragon attack has been actually quite interesting too. A fair few viewers have taken against Dany's attack as overly violent and evil, but is it really worse than butchering people in a field, or setting fire to their ships and torturing them as Cersei's troops have done? And if so, why? Yes, the show makes the Lannister soldiers seem more sympathetic by us seeing them tremble and run away, and with the knowledge that friendly Ed Sheeran and Thomas Goose might be among them. But the point of that isn't to show that Dany is wrong to attack them, only that this isn't a black and white conflict, and that death matters even if it's on the bad side. Anyway, I'm rambling on, but as a summary, an equal amount of people I've spoken to have been annoyed at Bronn for shooting Drogon as they've been at Dany for burning men alive. There's no perfect side to take in this war, it's very like when Stannis attacked King's Landing in Series 2. We want the Lannisters to fail, but we also want Tyrion to succeed in defending the city, and that's what makes it so interesting. Well, at least to me. 00.52, but what can we look forward to tonight? Well, promos have made it clear that this week's we'll finally get to see Jon meet a dragon, specifically Drogon, and we can't wait to see how both react considering Jon may have Targaryen, aka dragon controlling, blood, even if he doesn't know it himself. What that means for a dragon's reaction to him is anyone's guess, though I'm pretty intrigued to see what Daenerys thinks of Jon Snow's effect either way. 00.47, that was apparently the last we'll see of Ellie Kendrick's Mira Reed. By the way, sad to see her go after so many years of loyal service dragging Bran around in the snow. Still, at least she got out alive. Pretty rare. 00.43, anyway, whatever parties you're all not inviting me to on Sundays, I have my own mission, to dig out dank Game of Thrones memes and drink Pimm's. And you know what, this jug's running a little low. 00.36, sidebar, this tweet is pretty true and accurate, but do that many people really have plans on Sunday night? Who's living it up before Monday? And is Game of Thrones really the only thing that stands between them and Sunday night bacchanalia? Or is this just a sign of my own lackluster social life? Are all the big Sunday evening roggers going on without me? We may never know. 00.32, we also got some nice scenes of Jon and Daenerys growing closer while he showed her ancient carvings that supported his mission to get everyone working together against the White Walkers. Real talk though, he carved those himself just before she went in, right? We all on the same page about that, yeah? Good. Oh, and we also saw a brief, antagonistic reunion between Jon and Theon. That happens if you betray your foster family, even if it was back in Season 2, and a sparring session between Arya and Brienne that showed Sansa just how much her little sis had changed over the years. Yep. All interesting, character-driven stuff. Oh, who are we kidding? We're all still thinking about the dragon scenes. 00.27, but of course, the dragon fire but wasn't the only thing to happen in last week's episode, though it did end up overshadowing things a bit down to its sheer awesomeness. We also got a meeting between Cersei and her bank manager trying to arrange a future loan. Though with Mycroft from Sherlock to jazz things up a bit, Bran challenging Littlefinger as the creep king of Winterfell and, of course, That beautiful reunion of Stark sisters Arya and Brian in front of a less than accurate statue of their father down in the Winterfell crypts. Moving, powerful stuff. Note, this joke would also work with that picture of Jesus that was repainted. Get working, memers. 00.21 Our Lil Daenerys mascot certainly seems ready to take what is hers in fire and blood, and with a bit of charred sweet corn on the side. Watch out, Lannisters everywhere. And yay! Finally found a use for my new barbecue. No joke here, I just feel like I haven't best used the summer months. 00.18 So Jaime, and probably Bronn, we assume he's the tackler, survived the fiery inferno, but what of the others? From the looks of things a fair bit of the Lannister army was brown bread, okay, blackened toast, by the battle's end. But what of Sam's dad Randall and brother, hey Dickon? We'd say Dany might spare a few to bend the knee and legitimize her rule, though really who knows what she'll do once her dragon blood is up? 00.11 Oh, and if you were wondering how Jaime managed to plunge into deep water when his horse was trotting easily through the river's shallows just meters to the left, there's actually an answer that some fans have laid out. The river the battle took place by actually does dip from Paddling Pool to Marianas Trench levels at the drop of a hat, even according to George R.R. Martin's source novels. So there you go, the Trench of Regret is officially canon. So this show about dragons and ice zombies became just that little bit more plausible. 00.06 So, the big question after last week's episode, is Jaime Lannister dead? Was he the victim of his own hubris as he tried to charge Daenerys, and, her massive dragon, only to be tackled from his horse into a nearby river and drown in his heavy armor? Now what did we learn, Jaime? Personally, I'd have to go for no. It'd be a bit of an inauspicious end for the King's Lair. It'd also slightly skew the King's Landing story if Cersei didn't have someone to argue with. And frankly the death just doesn't feel like it fits just yet. But if he is alive, how could he survive? My colleague Paul Jones has a theory, which includes some surprising details about the swimming capabilities of dragons. 00.01 Wow. Just ... wow. Yes, here at radiotimes.com Towers, aka my dark flat in southwest London, we're all still reeling after last week's incendiary Game of Thrones, where Daenerys Targaryen, and Drogon, finally went nuclear to turn the Lannister army into small piles of grey ash. It was a moment that Game of Thrones had been building to for years, pulled off spectacularly well, and now this week's installment has the unenviable task of following one of the best episodes ever. No pressure. As usual, my name's Hugh. Be weird if I changed it between episodes, to be honest, and I'll be your hand through the darkness of the confusing, deadly and sometimes unintentionally hilarious world of Westeros this week. But before all that, there's a few things to discuss about where we left our heroes last time.